Hello students, in last lecture we have discussed logical operators, increment and decrement operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, conditional operators. Now we will see the next topic. Now we will see what is comma operator. So comma operator is used to separate set of expressions. So whenever there are more than one expressions, then they are separated by a comma. When there are expressions more than one, then they are evaluated from left to right, and the type and value of the result are the type and value of the right operand. For example, see, there are two expressions on RHS which are separated by comma. Therefore, they will be evaluated from left to right. Therefore, here 3 value will be first assigned to J. That is, J is equal to 3. And then 2 will be added in J. So, value of J will be 5. And then that value will be assigned to the LHS. Here RHS contains two expressions and evaluated left to right as per the discussion. Now we will see sizeof operator. Sizeof operator is a unary operator which gives the size of any data type or a variable in terms of bytes. For this, we have to use the syntax size of in bracket the data type or variable for which we want to find out the size. For example, if we want to display size of character or bytes required for a character, we can write printf %d because we want to display the size in terms of integers, and then followed by size of in bracket data type is character, and we know that for storing the character it requires 1 byte, so answer will be 1. Again, if we want to find out size of integer or float, then just write down size of and then in bracket the data type, so that it will display the memory requirement or number of bytes required to store that data type. Next is typecast operator. This is also a unary operator and it is used for explicit type conversion. Therefore, it is also called as typecasting operator. Syntax we can use for this operator is in bracket write down the type name in which we want to convert the previous data type followed by the expression. For example, consider one small expression average is equal to sum divided by n. Here, if sum and n are integer variables, then division will also result as integer. But if we want to display accurate result or if we want the answer in float, then one of them should be locally converted into the float so that we will get the answer in float. So we can write here average is equal to in bracket the data type in which we want the answer and followed by the expression that is sum divided by n, so that the answer will be displayed in float. Next, we will see address and indirection operators. Here, ampersand is used as address operator and star is used as indirection. operators. Both of these operators are unary operators, that are, these operators requires only one operand, and we can use these operators with pointers. So we will see in detail about these two operators whenever we will learn pointers. But now we should know what is the role of these operators in C language. So when we say address operator or ampersand, then it is used to retrieve or get the address of a variable. Address means the memory location where the variable is stored. So whenever we are writing ampersand A, by this we will get the memory location or address of variable A. Similarly, whenever we are using star operator, then it is also called as indirection operator, and it returns the object with which star is written. Means what? By using star operator, we can get or we can retrieve the value stored in the variable. So these are address and indirection operators. The next operators are dot and arrow operators. These operators are used to refer or to access the elements or members of structures and unions. Now what is structures and union? These are structured data types in C. These are also called as compound data types. These data types can contain heterogeneous data. Means what? We can store multiple type of data together in a structure or union. And in that, if we want to access any member of the structure or union, we can use dot and arrow operators. Arrow operator is used whenever we are accessing the structure by using pointers or accessing the union by using pointers. Again, we will see these two operators in detail while learning pointers. Now we will see input and output. Whenever we are writing programs, we should provide some data to the programs as per the need. Means if that program requires data for manipulation, we have to provide that data in terms of input. Now what is the job of program? Our program reads that data, process on it or manipulate that data depending on the instructions which are written in the program, and then generates some output. We know that C is not providing any keyword for input as well as for output. All input and output operations are done by functions, because we have already discussed that C is working on functions. There are many functions which are provided by C, in which there are different libraries, and for this input and output there are standard input output libraries for input and output of the data, and these functions which are related to input and output of the data are in the library stdio.h. So if we include this library in our program, then we can use any of the function which are necessary for input and output of the data to the program. Now we will see how to input or output a character in C. We said that there are standard library functions which we can use for reading or writing one character at a time. So by using these functions which are stored in the library, we can read and write one character for a program. Now the functions which are useful for reading a character are, there are three functions given. First is get character, second is get CHE, and third one is get CH. Now job of every function from these three is to read a single character. So by using this function we can input a character to the program. Now we will see the functions used for character input or for reading a single character. First function is get char. This function is defined in the library which is for standard input output, that is stdio.h, and the job of this function is it reads a single character and returns the character from standard input device, we can say that a keyboard. Syntax used for this function is, on LHS write some variable name, then is equal to, use the function get char. Now what is the meaning of this function? From this syntax, whenever we are writing variable name, then it should be a character or integer data type. Then get char function accepts or reads the character value from input device and then assigns that value to the variable name. It returns the character after the enter key is pressed by the user. For example, we have declared a variable C of the type character, that is character C semicolon. On next line we are writing C is equal to get character function. So this function will accept or read a character which is entered by the user through keyboard. It will read that character and it will assign that character to the variable C, and that character will be written whenever enter key is pressed by the user. So by using this first function we can read a single character. Second function is get CHE. This function is defined in conio.h standard library. It accepts a single character from standard input device and displays it on the screen. Syntax for this function is same as per the previous function, that is variable name is equal to get CHE. This function is not going to store the character into the buffer. Okay, so it will not wait for enter key to be pressed, but whenever user enters particular character, it will be immediately displayed on the screen without waiting for enter key. For example, we can declare one character type variable, for example character C, and we can write C is equal to get CHE. So whenever user enters a character, immediately that character will be get displayed on the screen. Now the last function is get CH. This function is also defined in the standard library conio.h, and it is very similar to the previous function we have discussed, that is get CHE. Syntax of this function is it is going to return integer value. Function name is getCH and as a parameter we are passing nothing or empty list. This function accepts single character from standard input device, but it does not display that character on the screen. This is the role of getCH function. For example, we are printing here hello world by using printf function and then writing getCH. So getCH function will wait for a character to be pressed by the user and then that character will be stored. We have seen all the functions which are useful to read a character from standard input device. Now we will see a function which can write a single character on standard output device. That function is putChar. The role of this function is it writes a single character on the standard output device, that is monitor. Syntax of this function is putChar. In bracket we can write some variable name or putChar, and in bracket as a parameter we can write a character. For example, if we are writing character answer is equal to y. Now answer is a variable which is of type character. Therefore y is written in single quotes and we are using the function putChar in bracket answer. So in this particular variable y is stored. So output will be get displayed on the screen and that output will be a y. Another example can be character C is equal to get character. So by using this function get character, we can read a character from standard input device and that character will be get stored in C. And whenever we are using function put character in bracket C, then that content which is stored in C will be get printed on the standard output device or on the screen. So this is how we can use put character function to write a character on standard output device. Just we have seen the functions which are useful to read and write a single character. Now we will see again two functions which are useful for reading and writing a string. Means what? Reading a string from standard input device and writing or displaying the string on standard output device, and that two functions are getS and putS. Both of these functions are in the standard input output library and these are used for input and output of the string respectively. Now first function is getS. Now getS function accepts the string from standard input device. It will continuously reading the string character by character until the user press enter key. Whenever user enters the key, then it appends a null character or /0 at the end of the string, and it is adding that null character to show that this is end of the string. Whenever we are using getS function, the spaces and the tabs are allowed in the string. So if we want to enter full name of the user, that is first name, middle name and last name, where we are using spaces, in that case we can use getS function. Now we will see what is the syntax of getS function. So getS in bracket name of the string. So some string will be declared and the string which is entered through standard input device will be get stored in that particular string by using getS function. For example, here we are declaring one string of type character and that string can store maximum 80 characters. And for user now, by using printf function, we are displaying on the screen type a string. Now, as it is written in double quotes, it will be displayed as it is on the monitor. After reading this statement, user has to enter some string. Okay, user will enter the string character by character. It will be read by the function, but whenever user enters enter key, then there will be end of the string and that string will be get stored in the character string which is labeled as S. So this is how getS function works. Now the second function for displaying a string on standard output device, that is putS. So what is the function of putS? It displays a string on standard output device. Again, as like getS, it appends a null character at the end of every string. Therefore, whenever we are using putS functions, every time the output or the string will be displayed on a new line. What is the reason? Because putS function appends a null character at the end of every string. Now let us see the syntax of putS function. PutS in bracket name of the string. Here the content of the string will be get displayed on the screen or standard output device by using putS function. For example, if we have declared one particular string named as S of 80 length and we are writing here for the user printf type a string. So by reading this message on the screen, user has to enter particular string. Okay, after end of the string, user will press enter key. When enter key is pressed, then that string will be get stored in the string named as S by using the getS function. Again we have used here printf function to know the user what is happening in the example. So it will display you have entered or you entered, and then we are using the function putS because whenever we use getS function the typed string is stored in S, and now by using putS function we can be displayed the content of S on the screen or standard output device. So in this example we have used both of the functions, getS to store the entered string into the string named as S, and we have used putS function to display the content of the string which is stored in the string named as S. So this is how we can read and write a string. So this is about today's lecture. Now in next lecture we will see formatted output, that is printf function. After that we will see formatted input, that is scanf function, and also we will see some sample programs. Thank you.